Bachelor Cooking with Double O. I realized after the last skit that we did, it was rather long. You know, anytime you reach the 20-minute mark or anything, people on YouTube, it's out the window. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some chicken noodle soup. I'm going to pour it in this glass dish. I'm going to then spread some of these veggies over the top of it, top it all off with some Alfredo sauce, some cheese, stick it in the oven, let it bake and see how it tastes. Should be interesting because I've never done this before. This one should be super short, super sweet, and super funny. Alright. With the way this is going to be, it's all going to go in the oven and it's all going to bake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-bake. I'm going to turn the oven on, I'm going to pre-bake because pre-bake is good. Alright. I'm going to turn the oven on to 400 degrees. Why? Because it's somewhere between 350 and 450. Those are usually the magic numbers, so I'm going to use 400. Alright. 400. Bake. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take some chicken noodle soup straight out of the can with a little pull tab. You don't even need a can opener or anything, but I will need a can opener for this one. Alright. What I'm going to do is chicken noodle soup. Normal chicken noodle soup, you open it up, you put it in a bowl, you add water. Well, for what I'm doing here, I pretty much just want the noodles and what juices are in there. I'm not going to add any water because I don't want to water this down. The only reason I'm using 2 cans is because, well, 1 can barely feed a midget. I mean, there's nothing in that can. Can 2. Now that's a lot of noodles. Come on, get out of there. Alright, so now that I got myself a spoon, I'm going to use the spoon and I'm going to get the extra noodles out of this ridiculously stubborn can. Because, well, when you're a bachelor like me, and you got no money, you need every bit of noodles you can. Go ahead and take your spoon, stir it up a little, evens it out, sauce to noodle ratio, makes it lay down flat. Let's put this here. Alright. Now, peas. I'm going to need a can opener for the peas. The can opener is over here. So I'm going to open this up and you're not going to see it. You always want to pour this water out. Not always, but for this you will. Make sure to shake it. Get all that stubborn water out. It's not necessary. Take your peas. Just shake them over your noodles here. Get the rest out. Throw the can away. I'm going to choose olives next. Olives have a pull tab. Super easy, super quick, painless. Except for it's got a bunch of fluids in it as well. Before you take it all the way off, go ahead and drain that black water. Okay, I've got sliced black olives. Go ahead and take those black olives and shake them over your peas. I like olives, so I'm going to use the whole can. Some people aren't so fond of olives, so they're not going to use the whole can, but I did. Meh. Beer break. Don't worry, it's still PBR. Just classy this way. Once you have your olives in there, go ahead and spread your olives out. I'm going to take this opportunity to stop and add the mushrooms. Go ahead, drain the water out of these. Now if you're actually making soup and all this, you wouldn't have to add any water, because there's a bunch of water added to all this stuff. Oh. And if you're clumsy like me, you'll dump half of them in the sink and that's a waste. So, we're going to spread what mushrooms we have left over here. And make sure there's none hiding in the cap, because that happens all the time. Alright. That is good and mixed. Alright. Now that this jumbly pile of nice, smells good, I'm going to go ahead and take my Alfredo sauce. Shake it up. I'm going to pour it in. Pour it nice, even over the top of it all. You know my one secret about sauces? Add a little water. Not much, just a little. Shake it up afterwards. I mean, you paid for sauce. You might as well use it all. When you're baking stuff in the oven, it's not like any water that's unnecessary. It's going to evaporate. So go ahead and pour the rest of it in. Alright, now if you're me, and I know you like me, and I'm like you, I don't quite like you, but I'm like you. I like spices. I like salt, I like seasonings, I like everything. So I'm going to take some salt, some pepper, some hot sauce. Yeah, some hot sauce. I'm going to pour it on top of this, and then I'm going to mix it all together. I know that's a lot. Don't worry. Use it gently. It'll be gently on you. Take a little salt. I don't quite have a salt shaker, so I'm just going to eyeball this. Salt. That's about enough. Red pepper, because I like it hot. This gigantic jar of Louisiana hot sauce as well. I like it hot. Just regular pepper, ground black pepper, to give it that normal taste. And then garlic salt, because, well, I like garlic. And with that said, it's empty. That's how we like garlic. This entire thing of garlic salt, and it's gone! Now that you've got it full of sauces, you're gonna take your spoon and just go ahead and mix it. Get your seasonings in there. Get your sauce in there. Get everything totally melding. Now that tastes good already. Now, before I stick this in the oven, there's one thing you can add to it. You can add to anything to make it better, and that's some cheese. Okay, Colby Jack cheese. Fresh thing of Colby Jack cheese. I'm gonna add just a little to the top of this. And I'm gonna try my best not to add it all. Just a little. All right. No, a little more. All right. I did not use it all, which is always good. All right. Cheese for later. All right. Now, here we go. I'm going to give you guys a nice close-up of this thing. Cheese all across the top of it. If you look in the side here, you can see your peas, your olives, your mushrooms, your noodles all mixed together. Since it's a nice glass dish, you can see it all. Go ahead, take the top, put the top on it. I'm gonna stick this thing in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, I think. I'll check on it in between. Now, if there's only one thing that you remember from my past videos, if you've seen any of my past videos, you know that we are operating on a pretty ghetto oven nowadays. So, I need to get my oven brick out. It's a thing. Just use a pot. Just a pot, an old pot, new pot, doesn't matter, just a pot. Just a pot. Put the pot on the door so the door stays open. If I don't have the pot on there, well, it just wants to close. It's unfair, I tell you, it's unfair. Now, you're going to take your concoction, put it on the middle shelf, stick it back in there, and then close the door on it. And voila, you're done. Wait for about 20 minutes. Check on it periodically because, well, ovens change, they vary. Yours might cook sooner than mine. Mine might cook slower than yours. Hotter, colder. I need a new oven. This is what I do on my time off. In between cooking, or while things are cooking. Not always. I ran earlier. It's kind of countering that run, but meh. All right. 20 minutes total. is what it took for this to cook at 20 minutes at 400 degrees. So here we go. Time is set. I'm gonna get my oven brick out. So I don't want to burn myself. Safety first. Get my hot pans on. Look at that. Doesn't that just look delicious? You can tell it's done from all the bubbles running up the sides. That means the Alfredo sauce and everything's boiling, which means it's thoroughly cooked. Now, doesn't that just look delicious? I can't wait to try this, but from past experiences, I'm gonna wait till it cools down just a tad. Alright. So, to bring you better visual of me tasting this stuff, I took it from the oven, I brought it back over to here, where we mixed it at. Me, food, you. I mean, what's a better place? Now that it's cooled off just a little, I'm going to take this. I'm going to mix up the cheese because the cheese is starting to get hard on the top. And just float around. Get myself a nice chunk of cheese. Here we go. Nice chunk of everything. Now, let's see how this tastes. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This tastes like a cheap version of fettuccine Alfredo. Some olives to it. Definitely taste the olives. It's definitely good. I shall make this in the future. Thank you for tuning in to Bachelor Cooking with Double O, where, well, I'm Double O if you haven't figured that out yet. Next time, I'm gonna cook something delicious. But don't I always?